Hi, my name is Madison Yingling, and I've created a text set for 5th graders. This text set can definitely be modified to work for older grades or younger grades if need be. The focus of my text set is historical movements around the world. My central idea is historical movements around the world influence the development of cultures, governments, and landscapes. I feel that it is very important for students of all ages to learn about history and how to shape the world around them. So for my text set, I have included picture books, chapter books, and poetry. The way I would present this text set to my class would be in a timeline starting from the one that discusses the oldest event in historical history to the most current historical event. So with that being said, the first book that I would present to my class from this text set would be We Are All Born Free by Amnesty International. Published after World War II, the 31 articles of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights are each accompanied by a beautiful illustration used to visually explain the article. A different artist, who the reader is introduced to in the back, does each illustration. There is an informational background about the document in the back of the book as well. This informational picture book has won many awards, including Outstanding International Book by the United States Board on Books for Young People, Special Award given by the English Association in English 411 Awards for the Best Children's Illustrated Books in 2008, Best Nonfiction Title of the Year in Read Me, Best Book Supplement of Junior Education and Child Education, November 2009. I would start out with this book because it gets students in the right mindset. It gets them to think globally and think about all the freedoms in the world and all the freedoms that are not in the world. They will get to discuss and complete activities pertaining to the articles. Questions will be asked regarding if there are articles or illustrations in the book that remind students of historical movements around the world. One of the greatest strengths of this book is the illustrations. All are done by a different artist, so each has a different feel, and each of the students would be able to relate to at least one in the book. One of my favorites is the one accompanying the first article. It is so detailed, and there are so many different cultures and perspectives represented that it could definitely spark a lot of discussion in the classroom. And the article itself is, we all have the right to life and to live in freedom and safety. So there are people of all different cultures doing all the different things that they do. The next book that I would present to my class is One Crazy Summer by Rita Williams Garcia. Delphine, Fern, and Vanetta barely remember their mother, but they are going to spend the entire summer with her in Oakland during the 1960s. Share in their experiences at the Black Panthers Community Center as they learn new things about themselves and others. They may even discover it in them to forgive and love their mother. So this historical fiction novel has won several major awards, including the National Book Award nominee for Young People's Literature in 2010, the Newbery Honor in 2011, the Scott Odell Award in 2011, the Dorothy Canfield Fisher Children's Book Award nominee of 2012, and the Coretta Scott King Award for Author 2011, Publishers Weekly Best Children's Book of the Year for Fiction 2010, the Judy Lopez Memorial Award for Children's Literature Honor 2011, Goodreads Choice Nominee 2010, and the Notable Children's Books in the English Language Arts 2011. This book is included in this text set because it discusses the important historical movement of the Black Panthers in the 1960s. Some activities I suggested pertaining to the central idea with how this movement impacted the United States, as well as researching other historical movements of that time and their impact on the United States as well. One of the greatest strengths of this book, and one of my favorite parts, is the extensive use of connotations and the discussion about them. So the first example I have for you is on page 14. Mommy gets up to give you a glass of water in the middle of the night. Mom invites your friends inside when it's raining. Mama burns your ears with the hot comb to make your hair look pretty for class picture day. Ma is sore and worn out from wringing your wet clothes and hanging them to dry. Ma needs peace and quiet at the end of the day. Mother is a statement of fact. Cecile Johnson gave birth to us. We came out of her. In the animal kingdom, that makes her our mother. And another example of connotations is on page 80. A name is important. It isn't something you drop in the litter basket or on the ground. Your name is how people know you. The very mention of your name makes a picture spring to mind. Whether it's a picture of clashing fists or a mighty mountain that can't be knocked down. Your name is who you are and how you're known, even when you do something great or something dumb. So a definite thing you could hit on when you're reading this book to your class is connotations, and you can discuss denotations as well. Another great aspect of this book is the imagery and figurative language. All the words paint a vibrant picture in the reader's mind, which is necessary because this is a chapter book and there aren't any pictures except for the front cover. So, for example, on page 13, thank goodness you can't see cherries in a chocolate bar. I'd have been a red-faced rose if not for my Hershey brown complexion. Delphine has just been blushing and is embarrassed because somebody pointed out that she liked a boy. So, the third book I would present in my text set is Another Jar of Tiny Stars, poems by more NCTE award-winning poets by Bernice Colin and Deborah Wooten, who are the editors. Young students choose their favorite works by 15 poets who received the Award for Poetry for Children given by the National Council of Teachers of English. This compilation is filled with poems that use natural rhythmic language and rhyming patterns to tell stories to which children can relate. Readers will find that the poems range in content from silly stories to ones of historical significance, and from causing them to crack a smile to causing them to sit in deep thought and think about the meaning. This book has won the award for the National Council of Teachers of English Award for Excellence in Poetry for Children. This book is included in my text set because it contains poems about Martin Luther King, John F. Kennedy, and other cultures and cultural movements. One of my favorite poems is called Pencils by Barbara Juster Esbenson. And it discusses the power of words and pertains to my central idea because with the students you can discuss how words can start a historical movement and research powerful speeches that actually did start movements, for example, like Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech. I'll read you a stanza from the poem that I really enjoy. Every word in your pencil is fearless, ready to walk the blue tightrope lines, ready to teeter and smile down, ready to come right out and show you thinking. I just really love the visual and the metaphors in that stanza. So the last book in my text set is The Man Who Walked Between the Towers by Mordecai Gerstein. French street performer Philippe Petit dares to do the impossible by tightrope walking between the Twin Towers in New York City in 1974 when they are just being built. Follow his courageous journey through the use of stirring illustrations and thoughtful word choice. This book concludes with an allusion to the 9/11 terrorist attack. This informational picture book in the subcategory of fictionalized biography has won several major awards. Cal Dot Medal in 2004, an ALA Notable Children's Book for All Ages 2004, Patricia Gallagher Picture Book Award nominee in 2007, Boston Globe Horn Book Award for Picture Books in 2004. This book is in my text set because it ends with an allusion to the 9/11 terrorist attacks. This historical event influenced the development of the American government and culture, which students would research and debate about. An important strength of the book is the perspective in the illustrations. You get to see New York from the view of the tightrope, which is one that most students will not experience in their lifetime. These illustrations are vibrantly colored, and one of my favorites is found in the middle of the book. This one right here. I like it because you get to see the same view from up here on top of the towers as Philippe Petit is getting ready to go tightrope walk on them. The colors are beautiful in each time picture capsule, and I love how the water looks at the top of this picture, so blue and vibrant, and I love the sunrise right here. It's just a really pretty time lapse, and all the illustrations are like that. Different point of view aspect right here that most students would not get to experience. So that's my text set about historical movements. Thank you for watching my video, and hopefully you find this text set beneficial in your classroom.